Today, I'm an owner-operator. I own my own truck. Or I should say I used to own my own truck. Today's the worst day of my life. Today's the day that I turn my truck in. I between the shops and the insurance and everything else that goes with it, the payments, I went broke. Put it mildly, I just went broke. Got to turn my truck in. Love my truck. I tried my best. Luckily, I work for a guy who's good enough to put me in a company truck. But it doesn't change the fact that I fucking failed.
I've had enough. Yeah, I've had enough of this horse shit. I don't give a shit what kind of law you make. I ain't going to follow it. I ain't paying my taxes this year. I just don't even care. I'm not going to be ruled by tyrants. I'm done. No taxes. I'm not following your goddamn laws that you make that are arbitrary and unconstitutional. I just ain't doing it. I've had fucking enough of your bullshit. Washington State, Oregon, California, kiss my ass. I ain't following no more laws. No more new laws that don't make no sense. Your little snitch line and all your bullshit you got going on, I'm not doing it. I'm not funding your scams and your NGOs and your fucking bullshit. Your wars, your thieving. Yeah, thieving. You loudmouth politicians that don't give a fuck about the common person. I'm done. I've had enough. I am no longer going to participate in your horse shit. And I don't give a fuck what you try to take from me. I come into this world with nothing. I'll go out with nothing. I don't give a fuck. Fuck you and fuck off. And on top of that, you best leave me the fuck alone, because you won't like the results if you come out here and try to stomp on my neck. It won't end well. I'm old, and I'm mean as fuck. Leave me alone.
I know people are going to start saying, well, you got what you voted for, so.
Okay, what happened?
My groceries, I used to pay between $150 to $200. Last week, I went and purchased the same amount of groceries that I usually do, and I ended up paying almost $320-something.
Huh, I thought you said day one prices would come down.
I used to fill up my tank with $45, $50. Now I spend $60, $70, almost $80 filling up the tank.
Gee, I wonder who started a conflict with Iran that caused gas prices to go higher.
Who's been a Democrat? Let's start with that. For some reason, I guess the way that he sold that he was going to better the economy, I voted for Donald Trump, which I regret doing.
Oh, lady, you fell for the severe case of diabetes when it comes to Trump himself.
I did it because he sold us this story where everything was going to be perfect. Now everything's getting worse and worse by the minute, you know. I think it's a war, isn't it?
Well, lady, you're one sharp tack. Each and every day, more and more people are entering the find out phase of FAFO when it comes to their vote. I mean, unfortunately, some folks are going to have to learn the hard way. But in conclusion, all I do have to say to Celia is, have the day you voted for. Bye.
Have the day you voted for.
Many Trump voters, they cheered tariffs because they believe it was China that was going to pay the price. But small businesses and American consumers were the ones going to pay the price, you know. They were warned about the trade wars and Trump's policies, but they refused to listen and voted Trump anyway. Now the consequences have landed home. So let's have a look.
These might be my favorite two posts on social media of all time. This guy said he voted for Trump to own the libs, and now he just lost his shoe business because of Trump's tariffs. In July of 2024, he says, I'm voting for Donald Trump for the economy and to own the libs, of course. But now he says, well, there went my shoe business. I don't understand why the tariffs have to eliminate the de minimis exception. Why does the government punish small businesses in this country knowing full well that Nike and all of the big brands will be fine paying the taxes, but his business gets wiped out? Gee, I wonder why the billionaire wouldn't fight to protect small businesses and why he would favor the corporations that lobby money to him. I mean, it doesn't make any sense, does it? Honestly, when I see posts like this, I don't feel bad for these people at all because they're getting exactly what they voted for. This is more proof that Donald Trump's tariffs are, of course, not good for the working class and small businesses. The bigger brands can just absorb these higher costs, move the supply chains around, or pass the costs along to the consumers. But small businesses don't have that type of cushion. They're the ones that go out first. And yet, Trump's base still cheered these policies on without knowing who they would actually actually impact. This is a classic example of what the Republican Party has gotten their base to do for years, and that's vote against their own self-interests. They are voting to give the billionaires more money, which means we get less money. It's that simple. 2 + 2 is 4.
This pro-Trump business owner in Florida is finding out the hard way. John Wong runs a small grocery store in Florida. His family started it back in 1983 after immigrating from Hong Kong. And for decades it thrived, a local staple for Asian ingredients in Manatee County. Then, Trump got elected, and everything changed. But don't feel too bad. John supported Trump. He believed the promises. Lower grocery costs, better trade deals, help for small businesses. Instead, Trump's tariffs crushed his store. Most of John's inventory comes from China, the Philippines, and Vietnam, the exact countries hit with massive tariff hikes. He used to pay $2.75 for a box of Mabo tofu sauce. Now, that same box is $5. Every shipment that arrives, the prices go up. Again. He's tried to not raise prices on his customers, many of them elderly living on fixed incomes, with one of his customers now rationing a can of sardines just to get by. John's store has been around for 43 years. Now, it's barely hanging on. And the worst part for John? He voted for the guy who's directly responsible for driving it straight into the ground. John told reporters, "Is there any future? Is this the American dream? Hey John, this is the dream that you voted for. So have fun with it."
I just dropped off former Trump supporter. He said he voted for Donald Trump 3 times. Now he wants Donald Trump to be gone as soon as possible. This guy happened to be a restaurant owner in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. This is a very expensive area, and I think the around here is super expensive. He said his restaurant doesn't make money at all because of inflation. In my opinion, he deserves it. I don't know what the fuck he was thinking. Think about it. The president of the United States says, "Oh, we're gonna impose tariffs on everything." I don't know. I'm no economist, but I do know that imposing tariffs would hurt us. Very stupid thing to do. We can use tariffs strategically, but by and large, tariffs do not help anybody. That's a simple fact. Anyway, he hates Donald Trump. Another thing is, he said his uncle warned him. Apparently, his uncle was scammed by Donald Trump in 80s. His uncle sued Donald Trump and successfully from Donald Trump. But his uncle clearly told him, do not vote for this guy. And yet he voted for Donald Trump, and he's getting burned. I still feel sorry. Like I said, he deserves this, but I don't want anybody to get hurt. It's stupid. I don't think that he has a bad intention, so I still feel bad.
Trump's gonna make America great again. Yup. Trump's gonna get rid of all the migrants so I can get me a job. Trump really cares about me because I'm uneducated.
Small business bankruptcy rose 46% year over year in April 2026. The first quarter of 2026 small business bankruptcy was up over 67%. 67%. Christina, who cares about small business? Those come and go. Did you know that small business makes up 99.9% of all business in the USA? Let me repeat that. Small business makes up 99.9% of business in the United States. No, it's not mid-size or large-size companies. It's small business. 99% of business is made up by small business. A 46% increase in business bankruptcy in April 2026 is exactly why in this post I talk for a minute and a half of stores closing, restaurants closing, going out of business, when 99% of businesses make up the US economy. and we have a 46% increase in business bankruptcy. We are in an economic crisis. Our economy is collapsing every single day. And I just want to remind you, this is all 100% self-inflicted.
Trump supporters, this is your friendly Sunday reminder that, listen, you didn't get affordable housing. You got more expensive eggs. You got more expensive gas. You didn't get Hillary Clinton locked up. You didn't get universal health care. He put us in a war. Okay. Housing market is still going up. Car prices are out of control. The economy is shot. Employment is in the tanks. And this is what you got for voting for Donald Trump. I just wanted to remind you of all that. So maybe next time that in 28, that you'll understand why you should vote a different way. And I don't really care if you vote Republican or Democrat, but what I do care about is for you to put a little thought and a little common sense in behind what you're doing. And sometimes, instead of doing what mommy or daddy tells you to do, or hubby or wifey tells you to do, you actually pull up a computer and click and actually do some research on what you're voting in, because everything that you thought you were voting for, you didn't get. You didn't get any of these things. So do better in the midterms, do a little bit of research, take 5 minutes, because it's important, because you got nothing that you voted for. Everything is out of control. The worst president in history. Our kids and our grandkids will look back on this every time they see his little picture in something, and clearly his name's all over Washington, will remember how bad you failed because of how you voted, and how many people that you hurt because of how you actually voted. That's just your friendly Sunday reminder. Have a good day, MAGAs.
We tried to warn you, Trump voters, but no. You just had to believe all the lies because you did your own research.
And you know what? I'm like, it's unfortunate that it has to get that bad for them to like genuinely understand that their blind loyalty is going to ruin their own fucking lives. They're too, like, I see them in comment sections all over TikTok laughing, being like, we're gonna separate and ruin your life and I can't fucking wait. It's like, for fuck's sakes, man, life is so short. It is too short for you to be so fucking miserable that you take joy out of seeing other people struggle and then don't think that you're gonna struggle yourself. It just is stupidity and cruelty. It just makes me really sad because I have family in Alberta that don't have the luxury of just picking up and leaving like me and my husband can. You know what I mean? I have family and friends that don't have the luxury of doing that, and it's really fucking sad. I just wish that it didn't have to get to the point of complete collapse, right? For Albertans to just drop the cult-like stupidity. You know, I would hope that Canadians would be better, but I guess they would rather be considered, U.S. citizens at this point.
This is what happens when people support policies thinking it will only hurt other people. Economists want that tariffs are often taxes, and when you put taxes on imported goods, companies pass down the cost to the American consumer, that small business owner, that truck driver, that farmer, and that worker already struggling to survive. But many voters, they didn't want to hear that during the campaign because the tariffs were marked as a revenge plan to China, People were told China would suffer and America would win, and that's why they cheered because they believed someone else would feel the pain. Now we are seeing small businesses shut down because the supply cost exploded. Small companies are unable to compete because the materials became too expensive, American consumers are paying more for everyday goods. Families are drowning in higher prices while the wages remain stagnant. But the truth is this, many people are now regretting their choice because the bad policies are now hurting them personally. Some supported these policies because they believe the immigrants were going to suffer. Others believe the liberals were going to suffer. But inflation does not check your MAGA hat before raising prices. Bankruptcy does not check your political party, and that's why elections do matter. When you vote, you are making decisions that affect millions of lives, including yours too. And this is why people should take time to study policies instead of blind loyalty. Understand economics before cheering the trade wars, because politicians are not your friends and they're not coming to save you overnight. Before supporting policies, ask yourself deeper questions, who really benefits, who pays the price? What do economists say about the policies, What happened when similar policies were tried before, because the truth is this: when citizens refuse to read the fine print, they eventually become victims of the same system they helped create. So thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Have a good one. I'll see you in the next video.